Hello, trainers. I'm Rival John. October 16th, 2025. That's when we return to a Lumiose city that's rapidly changing. One that's changed ever since the events of Pokémon X and Y. And right there, on the cover, is a returning character that you might have missed the first time around. She's not pivotal to the main playthrough story, but she's the center of the postgame. The little orphan girl, Emma. In a series of missions given to you by Looker, we meet, grow closer, and eventually have to save her in a story that touches at the heartstrings. She's a character whose story resonates with you, but it's a story that many players might never have even gotten to, since not everyone played the postgame. I don't even remember her from my playthrough of X. It was the Pokemon Generation short that really drew me to her story. So with Emma set to return and already given a prominent place on the game's cover, I think it's a good time to revisit her story and see where that could place her in Pokémon Legends Z-A. We first meet Emma after getting a case involving groups of kids that were seen hanging around the back alleys of Lumiose City. Concerned parents hire Looker to investigate. They're worried their kids could be up to shenanigans that could get them in trouble. One mother is scared that whatever her son is up to could cost them a spot at an elite Pokemon trainer school. Turns out there's nothing suspicious. The other kids are just playing with a girl named Emma. After that's all cleared up and the other kids go home, Emma tells us that she has nowhere to go. The streets are her home. Having lost her parents, her only constant companion is a little Esper named Mimi. Looker invites Emma to live at the Looker Bureau, where she begins her tutelage, learning to read, write, and do basic math. Here is where we get our first look at the not-so-shimmery side of Lumiose City. I'm honestly impressed that Pokemon tackled such a heavy subject like poverty and homelessness, countering the image of Lumiose City as a metropolis where everyone is living it up in chic fashion. It reflects a problem many major cities face. In fact, Paris, which Lumiose City is based off of, and the immediate surrounding region have an estimated homeless population of 100,000 people. Of those, 2,000 are children and teenagers, just like Emma. After a while, Emma proves to be a great assistant, running the front desk at the Looker Bureau while Looker is out. Her familiarity with the city, a big asset to Looker, who's not from the Kalos region. But the trauma of growing up in poverty starts to slowly creep its way back. The economic anxiety she feels doesn't easily go away. And because she works the front desk and she notices that business isn't exactly booming, she understands that renting a place like that costs money, along with the food that she and Mimi eat. That's where she starts to feel like she's a burden, worried that she, along with Mr. Looker, as she calls him, could be forced back onto the streets. So she does what most teenagers who are worried about money do. She gets a part-time job, hoping that contribution will be enough. Remember, she doesn't know Looker is actually a member of the International Police at this point, and that the Looker Bureau is just a front for his investigation. And that is where she gets roped into a science experiment being headed by a former admin of Team Flare. A string of crimes start to plague Lumiose City, a work of art at the museum defaced, people's Pokemon snatched, and of course, Looker and the player character are on the case, setting up a trap for the culprit, which turns out to be this enhanced individual named Essentia. But the mask can't fool Mimi, and through her connection, we come to find Essentia is in fact Emma, though she's acting different and even goes to attack Mimi, though Looker takes the body shot for the poor little Pokemon. As we chase down Essentia, trying to save Emma, we, and by that I mean Looker, make a deal with Elite Four member Malva, a former high-ranking member of Team Flare, to find Dr. Zorosik's lab. He was one of the admins for Team Flare. Inside, we learn what's been happening. A help wanted sign looking for someone part-time to wear the expansion suit for Zorosik's experiments. While inside the suit, Emma's consciousness is suppressed during that entire time. Zorosik says he was forced to test the suit this way because, turns out, Emma's charm makes the Pokemon she was given in order to carry out the experiments, well, they just want to play with her. Therefore, the only way the trials for the suit can proceed is with Zorosik remote controlling Emma in the suit to commit the crimes. The expansion suit literally makes someone a superhuman, enhanced strength and speed, allowing the user to jump high onto and across building tops. It also has a feature that helps steal Pokeballs right from the opposing trainer's hands after battle. But there is a way to break through the, I guess you can call it, mind control, and that happens when Looker, Mimi, and the player character try calling out to Emma, the programming fighting against her consciousness until Zorosik flips the switch and deactivates it. Emma allowed herself to be the test subject for the expansion suit in order to earn extra income to help the Looker Bureau. By the end of this, Zorosik turns himself in, assuring Looker that he and he alone was behind the crimes. Looker tells Emma that he's leaving, revealing his true identity as a member of the International Police, and that his mission in Lumiose City is over. As a parting gift, because he's grown so attached to Emma, almost like a father figure, Looker tells Emma he's bought the whole building and that this is Emma's new home, never again having to worry about not having a place to sleep. He also leaves the Bureau in her command. Zorosik, who throughout all this also developed a soft spot for Emma, and realizing that he's going to jail, leaves his Pokemon that he gave her to use while as Essentia in her care. He also lets her keep the expansion suits, with some altercations, like getting rid of the remote control features, so that she can use it in her new position as a detective. It's a heartfelt ending. The little orphan girl who didn't even know how to read or write, finding her forever home with her best friend Mimi, and even a father-like figure that she never had. She has a new team of friends, the new Pokemon she now cares for, and as a result of her studies, she now heads the new Looker Bureau, as we're led to believe that she indeed took up the mantle. And that's where her story in Pokémon X and Y ends. From the looks of it, she's kept her word. She's continued the Looker Bureau, and you can see here, still uses the expansion suits, while also sporting a very Looker-like trench coat, a combination of the two men who helped mold her into the detective she is today. She may be the one recruiting us for an investigation, similar to how Looker recruited the player character in X and Y to help him find a rogue Team Flare scientist. Remember, there's something going on with Quasartigo. The text boxes we've seen in the game look like case files. The first trailer had a confidential stamp on it, hints that we could be helping a detective solve a case. One more thing. A little trivia about her etymology. I've always been keen on the names Pokemon chooses for their characters and what significance that has on what type of character they're supposed to be. So the name Emma derives from matter or substance, and in her alter ego Essentia, that derives from spirit or essence. Now there's a whole field of metaphysics and philosophy from Aristotle about substance and essence, but in the briefest of simplifications, substance is the individual thing. In this case, Emma, the 16-year-old orphan from Lumiose City. Essence is what makes that thing what it is. As with the expansion suit, Emma is now able to come into her own and become what she was always meant to be, Lumiose City's protector. Through her experience and her alter ego Essentia, she grows from the street urchin, always struggling to survive, into Lumiose's new superhero. If you have a better philosophical analysis, feel free to drop a comment and let's discuss. A big thanks for making it this far into the video. You're a true rival. If you're new to the channel, please remember to like and subscribe. That lets YouTube know this is the type of video to recommend to other Pokemon fans. Leave a comment and join the conversation. Follow me on all my social media so we can talk Pokemon theories. And as always, share with a Pokemon nerd in your life. So, tell me, what role do you think Emma will play in Pokemon Legends Z-A? How do you think she's grown as a detective, a trainer, and a person in the years between X and Y and Legends Z-A? Could this mean we might see Looker again? And come to think of it, looking at the cover again, where's Mimi? Until next time, trainers.